is Veronica, independent auditor. I'm from Justice Development and Peacemaker Center. JDPMC. We work with justice and human rights matters.
So why are we here today, ma'am?
We're going to talk about children who came from different dioceses, different JDPs from Ibadan, Oyo, and OSOGBO, to discuss issues relating to Child's Rights Program and the Kingdom Mission project.
During the course of the program today, we heard about the roles of religious institutions in your programs. I want to ask that what are the roles of religious organizations in spreading the words of child rights at the grassroots?
For me, I feel like if we want the promotion of the rights of children, it largely depend on religious institutions, because in Nigeria, everybody knows that people respect religious leaders a lot. So we believe that if the religious leaders can go out to tell people about child's rights, tell their members that this is what should be done and this is what should be done, I think the lives of the Nigerian children will be better for that.
Thank you. The second question I have here is, in child trafficking and gender-based violence, is there any collaboration with any government agencies to mitigate the challenges?
I think we must fight child trafficking, child labor, we must work child labor and child violence against children. We must work with government institutions. Trafficking agency is there, the Ministry for Women and Children Affairs. I think we have to work with all these people and Ministry of Justice. On our own, we can do little. But I think believing we work with these people, things are going to be better. We can't do this.
Thank you.
Okay, so today I'm Olasunkanmi, and we are here today for the Provincial exchange program, particularly on child's rights with the Kingdom Mission's work.
So where are you from, sir?
I'm from Justice Development and Peace Commission, Ibadan.
Sir, during the course of the program, you made mention of there were social media influencers. I'd like to ask that in your child rights program, how effective is innovative ideas about these child rights social media influencers on the...
That is a school influencer program. School influencer program is to identify children for the purpose of participation and the protection of their own rights. So it's one of the activities to see that children participate in the protection of their rights, so that they are able to decide and take action also in the things that affect them. Actually, it is within the school level, because we identify the children that serve as influencers among the school-based children groups that we established in the project with JDPC in Ibadan. And so these children are able to serve as model to other children, to having known the content of the child rights law of your state, and so they are able to disseminate the information to other children, even that are members of the school-based children groups, child rights clubs, and those other school mates who are not members of the school-based children groups.
Okay. My second question is that in media relation and prompt response to child rights issues, how sincere are the identified media houses in public sensitization?
Identifying media
houses, like, because I know JDPC Ibadan currently work with Splash FM, and I'm very sure I've listened to their programs several times. So all these media organizations, how sincere are we with them? How sure are you that they're not working on another thing outside the scope of the child rights?
Actually, it is the office of the media, houses to disseminate information. And so whatever information that is key to the society to have, we cannot remove the child's rights. And it is true that people can have a different intention for what they do, but reasonably, when we started, as part of our project, we include the media from beginning as stakeholders so that they understand the concept of the child rights, the content of the child rights law, what is expected of them, even as stakeholders, in the area of child protection. And so with that, it is not just that media just like as a whole, but having involved them in the program from the beginning and they understand it. So we believe that it is within that purview, that scope that they are following us, working with us in the area of child rights media activities coverage.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Omotayo, Adebayo. I'm the head of program for Women Development and Child Right Program, Justice, Development and Peace Commission in Ibadan.
So why are we here today?
Okay, yeah, we're here for a program, Provincial Exchange program, just to exchange ideas amongst states that are carrying out the same objective, and that's to protect the rights of children in our individual states. So that's why we're here today, to work mind, exchange ideas, and see how we can better intervene and attend to the issues and needs of children within our states.
So, you mentioned the issue of social media during the course of the program. In terms of influencers that can help spread the word about child rights issues online, how do you think social media will help in channeling discourse, and how do you think it will spread beyond the shore of this place?
Okay, social media is a very viable tool before the advent of COVID-19. It's been very useful to get across information to people that you can't even see. Of course, we know that there's an abuse of social media because it's a new courtroom. So if things are not, information is not properly seen and put out there, it goes far and then it goes viral. So it's a viable tool because everybody now is a technology age, and then we're all having our device to know what is happening out there. It's another world entirely that everybody wants to be keyed into. So when you put information out there, everybody sees it and they can make better use of it. So making people like your social media influencers, when somebody speaks, for a cause or stands against a cause, it's natural for all their followers to follow suit, and then at least they pick one or two things. So everybody should take themselves to the level of being an authority, such that when you say something, people take you for what you're saying and they believe. So you'll be careful of not, saying the wrong thing online there, because you're going to be judged, or you're going to be questioned for whatever false information you spread. So we can really use this to, to spread our information on child's rights, so that everybody knows that children are respected beings and we should normally protect their rights and make them our paramount consideration in whatever we're doing for them.
Okay, thank you. The second question I'd like to ask is on the issue of sustainability. Recently, the COVID-19 pandemic has actually caused some problem with the European world, principal donors of JDPC in Nigeria and globally. How do you think all JDPC should respond to post-COVID-19 pandemic response in terms of sustaining child right program?
Okay, yeah, it's a very tough time we're going through, but it's not as if we couldn't manage ourselves. Some of our programs, of course we need funding. That's a very important aspect, and there's some that we can actually do without or with little funds are still being done. But we go into the rural places, we are ready to work, and we have been doing that. So fund is a very important aspect and important. It's important for us because we need it, to reach out to communities where people cannot get to. So it's not been an easy one for us at all, but we're trying to manage to see how we can survive without that or make up for the moment. But of course, it's still encouraged to really push much more funds into the intervention we're doing so that we can reach as many persons, because the pandemic of COVID, has brought in so many, it's like so many things we've done before. It's like we're going back to it again. We've taken so many children out of the streets because of COVID-19. They're going back into child labor. So it's like we need to start all over again, and we cannot say that if we could survive during COVID that we can continue to survive. So we need even much more funds to see how we can easily take these children off the street again, or reduce cases of abuse, because everything was on the increase as a result of COVID-19. So we still need funds, to do these things. But on our other side, the one we can do with our own human capacity to sensitize, to encourage people, and to facilitate case management process and case management plan, that we can still do.
Thank you very much.
My name is JDPMC, Catholic Diocese of Oyo.
today?
To rub minds together and share experiences concerning the right of the child's rights protection.
During the course of the program, you actually talk about how you help children who are victims of gender-based violence, child abuse at home. Now, can you please tell us how effective are these mechanisms during this COVID-19 pandemic and after COVID-19?
Me, I'm international. Lots of children, we have tried as much as possible to bring lots of children out of problems, like street children and others like this, those that abuse at home. We try to at least help them get justice. Those are on the streets, we try to integrate them back to their families. And then also, at least the perpetrator of the acts, at least make sure that they were sentenced.
You mean through conventional court or through child right court?
Yes, at least prosecute people in the family courts. Then also have this magistrate courts.
Okay. My last question is, in terms of sustainability, how do you think post-COVID-19 pandemic will not affect the continuation of child right programming or JDPC in Nigeria?
Presently, the effect of COVID-19 has adverse effects on the children. So, and then most of the households itself, it makes it that we have more vulnerable households now than before. That means we have lots of children on the streets, and then it exposes children to dangers. So, well, I would say with the effort, if there is funding, we'll be able to curtail it after the COVID-19. We hopefully, if the system go back to the normal, we'll be able to at least reach. And then when the school is out of work, because all schools are in lockdown, by the time they resume back to school, we'll be able to start afresh, and then I pray that the institution will be done.
But do you think a single donor is enough to sustain child right program, JDPC, especially with the new normal that we are seeing we never expected? Don't you think JDPC generally is supposed to step forward? They need to spread their tentacles to get more donors for child right program?
At this time now, we have lots of cases around. I would have advised that if you can get more donors, it will be better, and also we should also increase our sustainability. So that even at least if we rise up to that task that even donor will be giving us, and at the same time without donor will be able to stand to do some things, to be the best thing for us.
Thank you very much.
Kehinde Adedolapo from Justice Development and Peace Movements, JDPM Oyo, Politics and Human Rights Department. Particularly, we are here for an exchange forum between project officers of JDPs across Ibadan, Diocese of Oyo, Ibadan province, and we have to share experience concerning our project and the work pertaining to the rights of children, protection of their rights, and also promotion of child welfare.
Thank you. I'd like to ask that concerning the topic of discussion today, which centers on child rights, child molestation and the likes. How do you think this forum will reignite the passion of many people that actually wanted to work on this project?
Working on child rights protection has to do with passion, commitment, and a lot of zeal. And coming together here is to share experience, share our challenges, how we can navigate through it to get better results in order to protect the life of these children more. And coming together, we could see that we need to collaborate even far beyond JDPC levels, but with other NGOs in order to help these children that have been abused to get justice.
In terms of sustainability, do you think single donor syndrome will sustain JDPC child right program?
Just like I said during the program, we project officers need to look for backup programs because, like I said, protecting the right of children is not something that should stop. It's not something that we end soon. So we need to be on our toes. Even when there's no donor, we need to know it's something that needs our commitment. We need to know the right of children need to be protected at all costs.
In terms of post-COVID-19 pandemic, what kind of effect do you think it will have on the continuing implementation of another child right project phase?
Definitely, we need to convince our donor because even when we look at it from the implementation stage, we see that this COVID-19 has really exposed a lot of children to abuse. Because these children are homebound with their abusive parents, with their abusive adults, abusive guardians in their life. The school stops for some time and is still on, and they are homebound with these people, and therefore they are prone to abuse. Even domestic abuse is on the increase, which may eventually lead to separation or divorce, which are one of the major causes of child abuse in our society. So we need to look for backup plans in order for this project not to stop.
Thank you very much.
I work with politics and human rights department, justice, development and peace, Catholic Diocese of Oyo. The purpose of gathering is to exchange ideas, to exchange knowledge, and to share experiences among the dioceses under the Provincial of Ibadan. So, in that regard, we invited JDPs from Oyo, from Ibadan, AKT, Ondo, and OSOGBO, especially those that are implementing the child rights programs. So that is the essence of the community, to share ideas, to compare notes, and to see how we can continue to collaborate to make our society better.
Sir, during the course of program, some people mention the ideas of social media influencers. Do you think that is in consonance with the Catholic social teaching?
Yes, Catholic social teaching, it's a broad thing, it's a broad concept that encompasses a lot of things. And as a matter of fact, we can't actually run away from social media influencers, especially at this particular point in time when COVID-19 is ravaging nearly every part of the world, which has shifted the frontiers of how we implement our projects from traditional ways we used to implement projects to a more internet-driven way. So in that regard, I don't think Catholic social teaching will frown on that, because most of the donors that implements, that funds the project we do at the various JDPs are basically Catholic funders. And even when during the ravaging period of the COVID-19 around February, March, they too were also asking program implementers how they are going to shift their focus on implementing so that they can incorporate element of ICT and all those. So to that extent, influencers are going to be very, very important, and I don't think the Catholic Church is going to frown on it.
Okay, sir. Concerning the issue of sustainability of child right program, do you think single donor syndrome will be enough to sustain the program?
Actually, it is one of the discussions that crop up when we are doing this PEF meeting. At the general discourse level, the issue came up where we are trying to start looking at this single donor symbol. We try to deliberate and broad minds, so now we can run away from that singularity of donor to look at, to broaden our base. And the issue of child is what was to concern everybody, you know, as parents, as brothers, as sisters, and as generally stakeholders in the Nigerian system. It's what should concern us. It shouldn't even be about Kingdom Mission or Missouri or the Catholic Church. What should concern us as human beings. It's strike at the cause of our humanity. So to that extent, I think the issue of single donor is what we should actually really beam research on. At the plenary level when we are discussing, I throw the question to them that donors fund are shrinking, and we should be trying to think outside the box to how we are going to broaden our donor base, so that even if Kingdom Mission is not forthcoming on child right fund, there are some others areas we can tap into. For example, now we should be thinking about how to really hold our government accountable. Because essentially what we do at the NGOs level and to clean up after the government is what they are afraid to do or neglect to do that we are doing. So if we can actually design projects that will have strong inclusive potentials on the part of the government, our work with this and the money we are going to need and running those projects will also reduce. So in that regard, inclusiveness of government agencies is very important to attack this single donor syndrome. And beyond that, we should also explore internal foundation, internal resource protection system. Maybe there are many foundations in Nigeria that are also passing to our children. The MTN Foundation, the Tamil Foundation, the Tiwanem Foundation. We can approach them that whatever the focuses of the intervention, children are should be designed on the children. And those working on children should be given primacy in your funding. So I think if we can sit down and design comprehensive proposals on that, we will be able to tackle the single donor.
Thank you very much.